Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to BowlTV. My name is Matt Canizaro, and you have tuned in for live coverage of the 2018 QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup here in Las Vegas. We're at the Samstown Bowling Center. We have narrowed the field down here at this year's World Cup to the top 24 men and top 24 women. We started the week with bowlers from 83 countries. 81 on the men's side and 68 for the ladies. Again, narrowed that down to 24 on each side. Competitors will bowl 8 more games today. Pinfall has carried over from the 15 games of qualifying. And will carry over through this round. Total pinfall after 32 games now will determine the top 8 men and top 8 women who will advance to tomorrow's round-robin match play. So things are going to move along a little bit quicker today. We've got just 2 on each pair of lanes. And for your viewing pleasure, we've got 1 pair of women and 1 pair of men. And we'll have that each game during this 8-game round. So here in our opening game, again, the top 24, we've got from Finland, Sanna Pasanen, and from Mexico, Tanya Lopez. And over on the men's side, it's England's Sam Rose and Oliver Morig of Germany. So we do appreciate you dropping in. Tell your friends, it's going to go pretty quick. Again, 8 games, 2 on a pair. After which we will know who's headed to round-robin match play tomorrow here at Samstown. If you'd like to check out the standings, how we got to this point, visit QubicaAMF.com. A lot of great information there about the World Cup in general, and especially about this year's event participant list, standings, men's and women's. And they'll have those updated hopefully after each game. So leading the way in qualifying on the men's side, Kyle Troop of the United States, averaging 236. Including a 300 game. And on the ladies' side, it was Lee Jane Sin of Malaysia, averaging nearly 213. If you do have any questions along the way, feel free to drop those in the chat. We'll be glad to help you out with that information. If you'd like to follow your favorite players as they make their way across this 56-lane bowling center, you can do that. The link to the live scoring is in the information box below your video window. And we're going to do that here as well. We'll be on 300 watch as we were yesterday. People like 300s. We've had 3 total so far. First one by Ryan Reed of Canada at the end of day 2. And then yesterday, things got a little wacky. Strikes aplenty. Kyle Troop of the United States struck first, followed by Donald Lee of Panama. And Kyle Troops was the 75th in World Cup history. There's some pretty cool stuff right there. And rumor is that heading into this year's event, it had been 5 years since a male bowler had bowled 300 at the World Cup, and now we have 3. We had one last year on the ladies' side from Jenny Wegner of Sweden. And for Donald Lee of Panama, I needed every bit of that 300. It turned out his fate came down to the very final frames. He did all he could, and he sat and waited. And one unfortunate player had a rough last couple games and fell out of the top 24, and that allowed Donald Lee to sneak in as the 24 seed. He made it by 4 pins. So new life here for Donald Lee, but he's got a ton of ground if he's going to try to track down Kyle Troop. Still plenty of time though, 16 games to do it. We'll have the top 24 bowl 8 games here today. Total pinfall will determine the 8 men and 8 women who advance to round robin match play tomorrow. They'll bowl 8 games total tomorrow. It's 7 matches plus a position round. And they'll get bonus pins for each victory, and then total pinfall for 40 games. Bonus pins included. Will determine the top 4 for the semifinals. A little excitement on the women's side yesterday as well. Game 24. Rebecca Whiting decided to show up from Australia. Had struggled and fought and clawed her way all week long. Starts with the front 7 or front 6. Shoots 255 and jumps from 25th place, 15 pins out, into 21st place. And now here she is on day number 4. So she promised on social media last night she wouldn't make it as dramatic in the future. Her family's here from Australia. I believe her brother said blood pressure at an all-time high. But here we are, among the top 24. And thank you all for stopping in. My name's Matt Canizaro. I've got Aaron Smith here as well. Running around doing some bonus coverage of this year's World Cup. We're live at the Samstown Bowling Center in Las Vegas. First time in the United States since 2015. Also right here at Samstown. World Cup titles that year went to Colombia on the women's side and Hong Kong for the men. All right, so more excitement off on the side. Somebody pointed out, one of the competitors picked up the big 4. We had a 7-10 pick up there on lane 16 the other day. Certainly, spares will keep you in this thing. This 41-foot oil pattern played a little bit challenging. On the women's side, it took an average of just under 195 to make it to the top 24. And for the men, Donald Lee averaged 207.4 to sneak in as the number 24 spot. So again, this week's pattern, 41 feet using QubicaAMF's Utopia oil. And with players from 83 countries, so many different styles and skill levels, certainly changed the way the pattern played, especially from day to day as they figure things out or tried new things. Team USA head coach Rod Ross noted that the men's side, he felt that the majority of the players played the lanes pretty similar. So that helped a smoother transition. And then later in the week, they just ended up moving farther left sooner. So yesterday they were different. So they had to work on some things. He and Kyle Troop to make sure they maintained their level of success from the first 2 days. And then on the women's side, players using all parts of the lane. And Shannon O'Keefe for Team USA doing the same. Rod said she went from playing outside to almost sliding in the left gutter. And that's just a true test of her versatility. Came back strong in her final 3 games, just 702 to finally feel comfortable here at this year's World Cup. Just in time as well. Shannon finished qualifying in 3rd position. Now we are here for 8 additional games. It's good to have momentum. One dark horse player on the women's side quietly getting work done during the week. Not yet a high-profile player, at least in the U.S. here, among all the PWBA members and past champions, but Nadia Nurmalina of Indonesia and her male counterpart, Ryan Lalasang, has been around the top 5 all week. He now is on 270 pace here, as is Australia's Sam Cooley. And on the ladies' side, Nadine Geisler down on 31-2 for Germany has the front 8. It looks like her strain came to an end in the 9th frame. But I would imagine some pretty high scores as everyone has worked all week long to figure out this oil pattern. Here we are, nearing the end of our opening game. I told you, it's going to go quick. 8 games, 2 in a pair. Oliver Morig, one more strike puts him in the 240s. He's starting the day in 16th place. So plenty of room, plenty of time get up into the top 8. We'll have updated standings as they become available. So one more for Morrig, 244 max. Sam Rose, best he can do here is 186. Sam in 8th place. About 230 pins ahead of Morrig coming into today. And on the ladies' side, 10th frame now. Sonic can get to 215 here. Mixes him up for the first hit. Lopez, a double after the split. 223 is her max. Sonic coming into today in the 8th position, averaging just under 201. And Lopez 2 pins back in 9th place. In the top 6, relatively unchanged, just flip-flopping position throughout the week. That was Lee Jane Sin, Nadia Niramalina, Shannon O'Keefe, Karen Marcano, Nadine Geisler, and Diana Zavyalova. We have a question here in the chat about Antonino of Italy, and let's see how things turned out. Starting the day in 15th position. And we'll find out here shortly, as most of the lanes already have completed their game and switched over to game number 2. All right, we do appreciate everybody joining us. Thank you. Tell your friends. This is going to fly by. Already one game in the books. Game 2 now coming up. We'll meet our players here in just a minute. If you're just joining us, welcome. Thank you. My name is Matt Canizaro alongside Aaron Smith. We are here for the round of 24 at the 2018 QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup. 24 men and 24 women now fighting for spots among the top 8. Alright, so players have arrived. Started game 2. Standings will be updated very shortly. You can find all that information at QubicaAMF.com if you want to follow the live scoring and see how they're doing. There's a link in the information box right below your video window. Everybody here in the top 24 has received a custom World Cup jersey. So all 48 players wearing their logo infusion name shirts here, representing their countries as well. Hello, Craig Elliott. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Here in our featured pair of this game from Norway, Heidi Torstensen. And from Hong Kong, Han Chan. Over on the men's pair, 21-22, Arnar Janssen of Iceland and James Kelly joining us from New Zealand. All right. Thanks again, everyone, for being here. We're getting close to that 1,000 number, so I just wanted to say hello one more time. You're watching live coverage of the 2018 QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup. We're live behind lanes 19 through 22 here at the Samstown Bowling Center in Las Vegas. Down to our final 24 competitors in each division. And we've got one pair of each here on BowlTV. Ladies on the left, men on the right. Updated standings coming up here in just a minute. This is game 2 of 8, after which we will cut the field down in each division from 24 to 8. And they'll be back tomorrow for 8 games of round-robin match play. Taking a look at the standings right now on the men's side, Kyle Troop still leading the way. He is plus 921 for his 25 games, averaging just under 237. Kyle Troop leading the way, and some separation now between he and Osku Palermo. Kyle started the day with 247, and Finland's Palermo just 206. Kyle at 59.21. Osku is at 57.66 plus 766. So getting close to 200 pins there. And another 100 back. Ryan Reed of Canada plus 672. Fourth place, Jojo Yanapan of Thailand plus 622. Fifth is Sam Cooley of Australia. Sixth, Ryan Lalatsang of Indonesia. Followed by Andres Gomez of Colombia. And in the A spot right now, Marcelo Swartz of Brazil. We've seen him shoot 250 and 270 here on our featured pairs. He's looking forward to hopefully coming back this way. And this is where the semifinals and the finals will take place as well. So he would be pretty comfortable should he be able to hold on and make it that far. Sam Rose of England is the man looking in. He's in 9th place, 14 pins out. Arner Janssen here in our featured pair is 30 pins out. And then some separation again. Jonas Dahmen of Norway, 98 out. And then in 12th is Merwin Tan, 177 out. So right now, still a long way to go here in our 8-game block, but really it looks like 11 players fighting for 8 spots. So we'll see how things unfold. That's on the men's side. Take a quick look through our live scoring. See if anything stands out across the center. High-scoring match going on 35 and 6 between Zavyalova of Latvia and Nurmalina of Indonesia. Entertainment purposes, I bet that's a fun one to watch. Diana has struck 6 times in 7 frames, and Nadia 5 for 7. Taking a look at the women's standings, see if they're updated. Through 25 games, Lee Jane Sin still leading the way. She is plus 312. Nurmalina close behind at plus 268. Geisler up to 3rd place, plus 204. Shane O'Keefe drops to 4th, plus 203. Gary Marcano is 5th from Venezuela. Zavialova is 6th. Daphne Tan of Singapore is 7th. And Maria Jose Rodriguez holding on to the 8th spot. She's 8 pins ahead of Sanna Passanen of Finland. So things much more wide open on the ladies' side. Down to 17th place within 100 pins of 8th. So could get pretty interesting. We'll keep an eye on the standings. If you'd like to do that, QubicaAMF.com. Here on 19 and 20. Heidi off to a good start after the open 4-bagger. Get things back in order, but now back-to-back single pins. And the spinner style from Chan. Back in 2016, we saw Wang Hongbo utilize that same style in his home center in Shanghai. Spin to win. He came away with the World Cup title. First player to do it on his home turf since Robert Worrell of the United States did so back in the 1980s, 1981. Now Kyle Troop looking to add his name to that short list. Team USA, the defending champion. On the men's side, Jacob Butcheff won the title last year in Mexico. For the ladies, it was the Philippines. So both still alive and well here. The possibility of back-to-back victories. Philippines did it back in 1978 and 1979. That was the last time that a woman from the Philippines won a World Cup title until last year. And that 1979 champion, Bang Ku, in the building. Celebrated her this morning. Very cool to recognize the history of this event. Dating back to 1965, the first one held in Dublin, Ireland. And we met Paddy Gibbons yesterday. He was at that event, hanging out, watching. And now, 54 years later, he's here. His brother, Bernard, is the tournament director. We get to take it all in. Great pairing going on here on 21 and 22. Janssen and Kelly pushing each other. Janssen can get to 266. And Kelly with the open to start can get to 257. These players just bowling 8 games today. Total pinfall for 32 games will determine the 8 who advance to match play tomorrow. So these aren't matches. Tomorrow they will be head-to-head. Bonus pins on the line. So Aaron Smith, you've now been here for nearly 20 hours, taking in the World Cup experience. You got to walk the concourse and see the 83 different flags hanging in the rafters. You get to meet the players and the staff, and you get to see it all unfold. And here you are, front and center. What do you think so far?
So far, so good. Matthew Cannizzaro. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on BowlTV. And yes, almost the full 24 hours now in Las Vegas for me. I got here to the center right around the start of the women's block yesterday. So really my first opportunity to see the men compete. And definitely pretty cool. There's obviously, as you mentioned, 83 countries represented in the field this week. A lot of culture, a lot of great folks, and gotten to meet in just that short amount of time. It's been fun to see how they kind of operate their tournament. The whistle, the practice whistle, I'm still not used to that. That frightens me, but I will. Hopefully by tomorrow I'll be ready for it. But it's been a great experience. It's always fun to see bowlers from across the world compete and kind of co-mingle and do what they love. And it's definitely on display here over at Samstown.
All right, we're getting down to it. The end of game number 2 here. 241 for Janssen. And Kelly can get to 235, so both those gentlemen in much need of a little surge here. Janssen coming to this game 30 pins out of the top 8. 241 is a great number this week. James Kelly down at 19th place. About 255 pins out. He's got a ton of work to do over the next 6 games. For the ladies, Heidi has fallen to 10th place. She's been in and around the top 10 all week. Started yesterday in 6th. And Chan, 87 out after the opening game today. Things moving along pretty quickly. Game 3 of our 8-game block, moments away. We're going to get done so early, Aaron Smith might take up golf. But all that built-in free time for the participants. Some coming to Las Vegas for the first time, might be once in a lifetime. So this event is as much an experience off the lanes as it is on. So we want them to have a chance to enjoy things a little bit. 8 games a day, still pretty intense competition though.
233 and 241 over on 21 and 22 in the books. And make it 4 in a row. Definitely a unique style, something we don't see a lot over here except in these competitions, so always kind of fun to watch the nuances of it.
All right, final shot for Heidi. She'll finish with 212. And Chan can match her with one more here on the fill. And she does. Chan coached this week by world champion, former Team USA member David Haynes. He was part of that team in 2006 that broke the 35-year drought for Team USA at the World Men's Championships. And that was the first of 3 consecutive team titles for the USA. And now Haynes and one of his teammates that year, Bill Hoffman, heading up the coaching responsibilities in Hong Kong. As my understanding from talking to Shannon yesterday, David was over there training, getting ready for the Men's World Championships this year. Flew back here where he lives for the World Cup. Gets to spend some family time, and then immediately we'll head back to Hong Kong to finish training to get ready for the World Championships, which gets underway the last week of November. So a lot happened, a lot of miles traveled for many of these players.
How about that? Bill Hoffman, a past World Cup champion as well for the United States, 2007. U.S. was able to defend the title the next year in 2008. Hermosillo, Mexico. Derek Oaf following it up. So that was the last time the United States successfully defended a men's title here at the World Cup.
There you go. Question answered.
Yeah, internet. It's a great, great thing. So it looks like game 3, wasting no time getting into competition here. Men already on the pair. We're joined by Malaysia and Norway, Scotland and Colombia on our women's featured pair. Paracollegiate champions on 19 and 20 here in the States. Maria Jose Rodriguez, standout at Maryland Eastern Shore. And Tanya Youssef, 2016 ITC champion with Weber International.
Nice break there for Maria to start game 3. And on the women's side especially, a good number of the participants here at the World Cup have taken advantage of the opportunity to bowl collegiately. And now many, 8 so far, working their way up the ranks and now members of the Professional Women's Bowling Association. Some of the men as well. Marcelo Swartz one come to mind, bowled at Weber International. He's from Brazil. And then taking all of his skills back home to do some marketing and help at the bowling center. But both of these players on 19 and 20, collegiate national champions. Again, if you'd like to follow the live scoring and see how the players do when they're not on our featured pairs, you can find the link in the information box below your video window. On your way down, make sure to give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying watching this World Cup coverage. If you are, hopefully you didn't enjoy that A-pin from Dahmen on lane 22. That was pretty nasty. And he is not in a position, he can't afford too many of those. He is just outside the top 8. And he's been kind of locked into 10th place all week long, but now's the time to make the move.
Alex Liu from Malaysia stepping up on 21. He's a few spots further back. Scores updated through 25 total games. Was in 16th entering game 26. He gets in the mix. It's a fickle game from time to time. And I have to say I kind of enjoy the different nuances of this event at this moment, because you look at the first 3 days, 24 games, 8 games a day. We're bowling 8 games a day today, but it just feels so much different compared to kind of what was going on in qualifying. Even though I kind of caught it at the end of it, you know, folks are starting to look at the numbers, trying to make that final push. But you feel you have the time in the first 3 days to kind of weather the storm. You know, there's plenty of games to kind of get comfortable, put together a few big games and make your run. And all of a sudden, even though the block is the same exact length, there's no time left over for that.
The intensity absolutely has risen in the building. You can feel it. Started the week with 68 women, 24 advanced. So there's some room for those ups and downs. On the men's side, 81 became 24. But now, running out of time. One big game might not be enough. If you're in, you want to stay in. The squeeze factor certainly just coming into play.
It's a real thing.
Some will rise in that moment, and unfortunately, others will not. Then they'll become future live streamers.
It's funny.
All right, taking a look at the standings now. On the women's side first, leading the way still, Lee Jane Sin of Malaysia, followed closely by Nadia Nurmalina of Indonesia. Only 34 pins separating those two in the 1-2 spots. Nadine Geisler of Germany. Shannon O'Keefe of Team USA in 4th. 138 pins back. 5th is Diana Zavyalova. 6th, Karen Marcano of Venezuela. 7th, Daphne Tan of Singapore. And 8th, Maria Jose Rodriguez holding on here for Colombia here in our featured pair. And she is still looking for that first double. She is 35 pins ahead of Tanya Lopez. But again, 14 players within 100 pins. Tanya Youssef is 14th. She is 97 pins behind Maria coming into game 3. And over on the men's side, Kyle Troop leading the way. Osku Palermo, past champion, has closed the gap a little bit once again. He really put the pressure on Kyle early yesterday. Kyle responded, shot 300, followed that up with 248. But Kyle out ahead by less than 100 now. Ryan Reed of Canada is 3rd. Jojo Yanapan 4th. He's from Thailand. Sam Cooley of Australia. Ryan Lalasang of Indonesia. Andres Gomez from Colombia. And Marcelo Swartz of Brazil hanging in. Arner Janssen, we saw him shoot 240 here on our featured pair. He is 35 out. Sam Rose, 58 behind. And Dahmen up on lane 21 right now. He's in 11th place. He's 118 pins away. And then there's another 100 after that. So again, 11 players fighting for 8 spots. But Dahmen's going to have some work to do here if he needs to throw a double or 2 doubles or 3 doubles in a row to give himself a chance here to make a push in the final few games. All right, so halfway through game 3 here. This is our 4th day at the 2018 QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup. We're down to the top 24 men and 24 women based on their pinfall totals through 24 games of qualifying. We're going 8 more games today, and then the 32 game totals will determine the 8 men and 8 women who advance to round robin match play tomorrow. We'll bowl 7 matches followed by a position round. All pinfall carries over, bonus pins for each victory. And after 40 games, total pinfall with bonus pins will determine the 4 players on each side headed to the semifinals. So we'll have those semifinals starting tomorrow morning, or tomorrow afternoon, immediately after the match play. We'll have the women first. We'll have 1 semifinal on each featured pair. Take a short break, re-oil 19 and 20, and that's where the final will take place. We'll reset and do the same for the men. It'll be a knockout style semifinal, so 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3, and the winners will meet for the titles.
I like that term, knockout style. So often in our TV formats, we see the step ladder. 5 takes on 4, winner takes 3, all the way till you get down to 1, but variety is the spice of life.
I'll say Aaron Smith coming into this event, looking at some of the great talent here from around the world. If I was going to pick out 8 players from the field of 81 on the men's side, I think probably most would have been pretty close. These gentlemen have proven themselves at various levels of the game, and I would consider these the big names in the field for the most part. We see them regularly in PBA Tour competition, World Bowling events, and now, as they say, the cream rising here at the World Cup.
Certainly agree with you, Matt. Obviously, Kyle and Askew, PBA champions. Could say the same about Sam and Andres. Marcelo we know from his collegiate days, but obviously a great player. JoJo coming off a great performance at the U.S. Open, nearly made the TV show there just about a week ago or so in Wichita, Kansas. And I feel Ryan Lalasang from Indonesia. I believe that was a name that we saw a little bit at the World Youth Championships. Potentially, I might be 100% wrong with that. I know I've said that name before on live stream though.
Well, usually a pretty good turnout from the international spots. Many of the Asian players make their way over for the World Series of Bowling and such. And they do stay very busy. We got to chat with Lee Jane Sin the other day about their schedules, and they're at about 15 to 20 pretty high profile events each year, and I think that'll be pretty consistent with the players from Singapore and Indonesia, Korea. That's kind of what they do, and so very familiar names. And Jojo Yanapan on 270 pace, down on 49 and 50, looking to solidify his spot in the top 8 early here on day 4.
BC Tenpin is right. I left out Ryan Reed out of that group. So my apologies to Ryan. That's true. Collegiate Hall of Famer. With our favorite Hall of Famer Emil Williams Jr. Matt's a Hall of Famer too. I'm the only non-Hall of Famer around here, so that's. Did not mean to overlook Ryan there, but Aria 300 this week.
First one of the week came on day 2 of qualifying. Ended the day with 300. He's got the whole family here enjoying the Las Vegas experience, and got a chance to catch up with him and have him on the live stream a little bit last year in Mexico. So he's a World Cup veteran. And we chatted over, of course, our common friend, Emil Williams Jr., as well as bonding over the deliciousness of the host cities that we get to visit, as well as and the enjoyment of Tim Hortons. That's a thing.
It is very enjoyable. Fantastic coffee.
All right, here we are now. Final frames on our featured pairs. Dahlman needing some big games here. He's been 10th or 11th for most of the week. And big game, he's going to have to wait. Running out of time though. Max score here, 172. Alex Liu can get to 186. Alex down in 19th place, 300 pins out. For the ladies now, 10th frame. Maria will get to 227. As can Tanya.
Actually saw Maria at the U.S. Open. Oh, there's another past World Cup champion. Lucy Sandlin, USBC Hall of Famer, walking around. Very cool. But we saw Maria in Wichita as well at the U.S. Open. She was not competing. No, she had kind of taken some time off from the or taken some time off just after the rigors of the PWBA Tour season. Starting to gear up for this event, and just kind of following her in the standings, it looks like more games that she's gotten under her belt. She's really started to get more comfortable out here. She's had a few breaks, crossed over at least twice this game, but great players do is take advantage of those opportunities. And she is doing just that. Turns it into 3 in a row. Going to be in the 220s. Is that plus 74? So decent count here, and we'll get her to better than plus 100. Tanya with the split, gonna finish with 202. And 226 for Maria, helping conclude game 3 here on BowlTV. Moving on to game number 4.
All right, folks, game 4 right around the corner. Players on the way. nearing the halfway point. We'll be right back. Live coverage continues here at the 2018 QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup. Matt Canizaro alongside Aaron Smith making his World Cup debut. We'll be right back.
Did you throw it bad in the film?
And we are back. Game number 4 underway here. Day 4 of the 2018 QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup. And a treat for all of our Team USA fans. We've got both Team USA players on our featured pairs this game. On the left, Shannon O'Keefe. She's joined by Malaysia's Lee Jane Sin. And over on 21 and 22, on our right, Kyle Troop, joined by Canada's Ryan Reed. We'll have updated standings for you in just one moment. 3 games already done from today's 8-game block. After today's 8 games, we'll cut the field down again from 24 on each side to the top 8. Round robin match play coming up tomorrow. Score still rolling in after our 3rd game today. We'll have the updates for you in just a minute. Trouble here early for Sin. Started with the open tough spare here. 3/4 of the bucket. And on our men's pair, owners of 2 of our 3 perfect games this week. Reed struck first. Final game of qualifying on day 2. Kyle Troop earned his place in history yesterday morning. So Reed snaps the 10. Good question from Tyler in the chat. Is this match play or still total pins? And today we're still total pins. So just 2 guys hanging out, bowling a couple games together. And then 32 game pinfall totals will determine the 8 who advance to match play tomorrow morning. A little bit later start tomorrow. It'll be 9 o'clock local, noon Eastern. Nice break there for Reed. It all looks the same on the scoreboard. 3 for 3 now. Tomorrow we'll get off at noon Eastern. 8 games round robin. That's 7 matches plus a position round. They will make the cut to the top 4 men, top 4 women. First semifinals scheduled for 12:30 local. 3:30 Eastern. And that all will be dependent on how fast the morning session goes. Lanes will have to be redressed. We'll have to reset as well. .27 game totals in on the women's side. Sin still on top, but the gap has closed significantly. Her pinfall total 57-40. As Reed adds 1 more, makes it 4 for 4. Sin just 15 pins ahead of Nurmalina of Indonesia. Zavyalova is 3rd. 2 pins ahead of Nadine Geisler. Sandy O'Keefe, 5th. Karen Marcano of Venezuela is 6th. Maria Jose Rodriguez moves up to 7th place. Daphne Tan now 8th. Sana Pasanen 11 pins out. Heidi Torstensen 71. Tanya Lopez 84 behind. Catherine DeRue 86 behind. And running out of time. On the men's side, Kyle Troop leading the way. He said it would be a very special moment. His goal to lead this event wire to wire. Here on his home turf in the United States, kicking off his Team USA career. But acknowledging that we're still far from over. Long way to go, a lot of bowling to be done, and some very talented players. Osku has been on his heels for 2 days. And now the difference, 132 pins. Kyle Troop 63-63. Osku Palermo 62-31. Yanapan of Thailand 61-18. Reed 61-07. Cooley of Australia 60-41. Ryan Lalasang of Indonesia 59-73. Andres Gomez of Colombia 59-19. And Arner Janssen moves in to the top 8 at 58-81. He's having a good day so far, 216, 241. We're still waiting on that game 27. There it is, 206. Marcelo Swartz falls out. He's 12 pins back. Sam Rose, 37 out. And then Jonas Dahmen, kind of distant, 117. And then we have some huge separation there. So again, looking at 11 players really fighting for those 8 spots on the men's side. All right, here's Kyle Troop, 5 for 6. Looking to make it 5 in a row here on lane 21. And the 7 goes late. He's got a few kind words for that 7 pin. Kyle really enjoying this World Cup experience, and I'll say my first real opportunity. I've talked to him and worked with him in the past, but these events give you a chance to really get to know the players and see them in the environment. And he's already a bit of a celebrity and a fan favorite, and playing the crowd very well and very personable with all the players. And they do get to vote on a sportsmanship award here this week, and I would not be surprised if he was in the running for that. And Ryan Reed's string ends at 6. I was just about to go offer him a nice ice frap from Tim Hortons if he was going to shoot 300 again, but
Matt Kenzar, everybody.
just save myself a few bucks. Appreciate everybody dropping in. Biggest numbers of the week. Thank you very much. Continued coverage of the 2018 QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup. Top 24 day. And we're right upon the weekend as well. Work week coming to an end, and
it is Friday. Everybody gets down on Friday, Matt.
all of this is true. Wherever you are, thank you for giving us a part of your weekend. Enjoying some BowlTV during your post-work happy hour or before you head off to the workday. Greetings to our friends in Bahrain and Puerto Rico. Do y'all have any desire for information about this week's event or the players here at the World Cup? Visit QubicaAMF.com. Player profiles, stats. They'll give you their histories here at the World Cup, tell you what years they've participated, how they've done. Ryan Reed becoming a World Cup regular. Live scoring available. Link in the information box below your video window. While you're here, remember to subscribe to BowlTV. It's your opportunity to be notified and be ahead of the game so you know what's happening when we're coming on the air. Some great video content being produced by Jason Thomas and Mill Williams Jr. and company. You definitely want to be there as we turn the corner to 2019. We'll kick the year off with the Team USA trials. 2 winners from that event will earn spots in the 2019 World Cup. That's how Kyle Troop and Shannon O'Keefe earn their spots here this week. Was that a 2-fin salute by Kyle Troop there for that 10-pin, or something happening there? It's a very creative gentleman, for sure.
I think that was his nice way of asking that pin, why didn't you fall over?
Shane O'Keefe in a similar situation. The 10 won't go for her. She has that frustrated look once again. We saw that for the first 2 days of qualifying. She tried just about everything she could. Yesterday, adjusted some ball surfaces and found a look late in the day. But the carry not on her side. Again, she is comfortably in the top 8. Well, I guess you're never comfortable till it's over. She's 5th. We've seen crazier things happen, but it was late in the block yesterday when she really got things going. So the transition is going to be a little bit different today. We've taken away 2/3 of the field and 1 player from each pair. So the variance in traffic where the players will play the lanes has gone away today. We saw many different styles on the lady side, especially from plastic to backup to the spinner style. Players left, players right. So today they're going to be playing the lanes a little more similarly. So they'll transition different and probably a little bit slower, being that there's only 2 instead of 3 on a pair.
Oh. Said no, sir, 9-pin. As Kyle gets that hit, Shannon. Does not. They're playing a cruel game of horse right now.
trouble there for Ryan Reed in the 10th, 7-10. So Aaron, get your video ready. I think Ryan Reed has a chance at this one. He just got the I'm gonna make the 7-10 kind of look right now. And the pin's very lively here at the Samstown Bowling Center.
Yeah, Ryan can put a little steam on it, so we'll.
Kyle Troop delivers. He'll be in the 250s. I think for sure, at worst, one of these pins is coming out over the rake. So 232. Anticlimactic there, but I liked his chances. Great start to that game. And 232 though, still a pretty phenomenal game this week on this 41-foot pattern. Same pattern we've seen since day one, but definitely going to be much different. Just based on the, dare I say, quality of the players, the skill level of the top 24, obviously the best of the week. That's why they're still here.
Now that's a fair point. The obviously the top 24 have found some success over the course of their 24 games, so they know how to find the 1-3 or 1-2 depending on their side of preference. And probably some uniformity across the way there. So the guys obviously probably starting a little bit further left, but guys are staying on guys' pairs, ladies are staying on their pairs, and kind of going from there.
All right, so in game 4, 257 for Troop, 232 for Reed. Jane finishes strong, throws the last 4 for 213. And Shannon O'Keefe, a frustrating 193. If the World Cup was no tap, Shannon O'Keefe would be leading by 1,000 pins. Unfortunately, that is not the case, so it is time to find a way to knock all 10 down. And we will have game number 5 coming up. We'll potentially track down some highlights for you, some cool videos, and because that's what we do now is try to make cool things. But we'll be right back with game number 5 here at the World Cup. Samstown Bowling Center in Las Vegas. Matt Cannizzaro and Aaron Smith, thank you for being here. Give us a thumbs up in the meantime if you like this coverage, and we'll let the World Cup folks know that folks are watching. And we do appreciate it. Game 5, just a minute.
All right, folks, we are now all the way into game number 5 here on our featured pairs at Samstown for the 2018 QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup. On our women's pair, Diana Zavyalova from Latvia, starting out with the washout, 3-time PWBA Tour champion. She's been in good shape all week, led after day number 1, but looks like she did not like the footing situation to start off there. She's joined by El Salvador's Edith Quintanilla. Edith a little bit further back in the standings. You can see the running total up on the scoreboards. So Edith about 200 pins back of where Diana is at the moment. On our men's featured pair from Italy, Antonino Fiorentino. Some trouble in the third after an early double, unable to cover up the 2-4, 8-10. He's joined by Australia's Sam Cooley. Sounds like Sam's been having quite a day so far. His first 4 games to start today. 254, 254, 226, 245. That is a lot of striking. We do appreciate everybody tuning in. We hope to see you throughout the rest of the block today. And of course, on Saturday, we're going to kick off the day by starting with our top 8 in both the men's and the women's divisions for round-robin match play. And when that's all said and done, the top 8 in each division, or the top 4, excuse me, will advance to the knockout style semifinals. 1 will take on 4. 2 will take on 3, and the winners will meet for the coveted title here at the World Cup. The approximate start times for everything tomorrow. It'll be noon Eastern, 9 a.m. local time for the round-robin round. Approximately 3:30 p.m. Eastern will be the start of the semifinals. Those will go right into the finals afterwards. So we'll have all that here on BowlTV. So wire-to-wire coverage of the 2018 event. Coming to you live from BowlTV. Give us the click on the thumbs up if you're enjoying what you're seeing. And of course, when you're all said and done today, be sure to subscribe so you're notified about great events just like this, as well as a great resource for so much more. Sam from way downtown makes it 4 out of 5. Looks like we're not all the way there just yet for scores on the men's side. Nearly there on the women's side. Looks like one score is outstanding at the moment. Let's score a little bit further back, so let's take a look here at the women's top 8 at the moment. Sinley Jane continues the lead. She's up by 43 over Nadia Nurmalina from Indonesia. Those two have really been we've been fighting for that top spot the past 2 days. Lee Jane has been ahead though. Leader after rounds 2 and 3 of qualifying, sitting in third and up on lane 20. Diana Z. She's about 100 pins back of Nadia. Looking a little uncomfortable here in the early going of game number 5. In fourth is Germany's Nadine Giesler, followed by Shannon O'Keefe of the United States in fifth. Maria Jose Rodriguez of Colombia sitting in sixth. Karen Marcano from Venezuela in seventh. And Sanna Pasanen of Finland is in eighth. First player out, Daphne Tan of Singapore, 42 pins back. For Edith, off to a nice start here. Early double. She was in 12th place, 118 pins back of the cut with half the block left to go. Looks like we're updated now on the men's side. Kyle Troop, saw him in the 250s last game. He continues to lead. About 170 pins up on the field now. 66-20, averaging better than 236. Asku Palermo continues to sit in second, and from Finland, he's got about 115 pin lead over third place. So those two guys looking in great shape here with 4 games left. Ryan Reed of Canada in third. Jojo Yanafan from Thailand in fourth. Sam Cooley on our featured pair. Once again, talked about his big start today. Sits in fifth. Ryan Lalasang from Indonesia in sixth. Andres Gomez of Colombia in seventh. And Iceland's David Jansson now in eighth, 9 pins ahead of Marcelo Schwartz from Brazil. England's Sam Rose not too far out, 14 pins back of the cut at the moment. Jonas Dahmen from Norway, 115 back, your next closest competitor. So looks like a battle kind of for those, a 3-way race for those final final spot actually. Andres has got about a 90 pin lead at the moment over Janssen. So get to the back half of the block.
Game number 5 rolling on here on day 4, 2018 QubicaAMF World Cup. Aaron's already gone over the scores for you, so now we'll just watch the conclusion of Game 5 here, this 8-game block. Once it concludes, we'll determine our 8 players for round-robin match play. This is the best of the best this week. We started with 81 men and 68 women. Got the chance to see bowlers of all different styles and skill levels representing their home countries. Some countries big bowling powerhouses and some not so much. Maybe only have a couple of bowlers and maybe not even a bowling center. But now we're down to the best of the best again. 24 men, 24 women. Going 8 more games. It's been a long week. Only 8 games a day. It doesn't sound like a lot, but physically demanding. Definitely a mental challenge. Some of the players very frustrated by pin carry and trying to find the right angle through the pins. Quintanilla, 118 pins out of the top 8 coming into this game. Still fighting. Zavyalova in 3rd place. All the while, players still trying to figure out the right combination if they haven't already. 8 more games tomorrow, so not much time left. But we'll get down to the top 8, then at that point, half the players are making the semifinals, so still plenty of room. A lot can happen in 8 games. 30 bonus pins times 8, that's a bunch. Certainly enough to make up any deficit. Diana able to double up there. Here's the 4 to go. Sam Cooley in front of the ball return. He can get to 229 here. Fiorentino finished with 196. Nice break there for Sam, getting the 4 and the 9 out. Saw Sam just miss the TV show at the 2016 event in Shanghai, but well all week and just came up short. 229. For Cooley, 196. Antonino. All right, Diana with the string now, late here in game 5. .239 her max. Quintanilla. 216 possible. Big game for Tan from the Philippines. He'll be in the 250s. He's 175 pins back. So that will be a nice little bump here. A few games to go. Diana can't get the 10 out. First shot, so 218 her max score. .205 max for Edith. All right, 205. Quintanilla. Diana can get to 218. Game 6 already underway to our right. Clement Debus of Belgium. And Jojo Yanafan from Thailand. Diana all done, 217. Change our number there. Game 6 now. Headed our way for the ladies this game. We've got Venezuela's Karen Marcano and Stephanie Martins of Brazil. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. This is day 4 at the 2018 QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup. My name is Matt Canizaro. Aaron Smith here as well. Wire-to-wire coverage of this year's event at the Samstown Bowling Center in Las Vegas. Best numbers of the week, so thank you. Tell your friends. Let's keep growing. And if you like what you're seeing, of course, give us a thumbs up there, just below the top 24. And remember, subscribe to BowlTV. More great coverage coming up in 2019. So make sure you're one of the first to know by being a BowlTV subscriber. This is our 6th game, so time flying. I'll have a recap for you tonight on bowl.com. Then we're back at it bright and early tomorrow. Match play gets underway at noon Eastern, at 9 a.m. local time. And that'll be followed closely by the semifinals. And by tomorrow afternoon, we will have crowned our World Cup champions for 2018. Great shot there by Clement. You know, we started the week with representatives from 83 countries. It's the largest bowling event as far as the number of participating nations. Tradition that began in 1965. This is the 54th edition of this prestigious World Cup. Last year's champions, Team USA, Jacob Butchoff, and the Philippines was Crystalline Tabora. If you'd like to follow your favorite players, or among these 48 competitors, you can find the link to the live scoring in the information box right below your video window. And standings should be updated at QubicaAMF.com very soon. All right, through 29 games on the ladies' side. Lee Jane Sin of Malaysia clinging to a 14-pin lead over Indonesia's Nadia Nurmalina. Zarina Zavyalova is third. Here Marcano, fourth place. Nadine Geisler of Germany is fifth. Maria Jose Rodriguez of Colombia is in 6th place. Shannon O'Keefe of Team USA is 7th. And Daphne Tan of Singapore is 8th. Sanna Pasanen of Finland, 30 pins out. And then Heidi Torstensen of Norway, 80 pins away. A little bit of trouble for Shannon O'Keefe. She has a few games to figure something out here. She is dangerously close to falling out of the top 8. Her last 2 games, 176, 193. She had a frustrating start to the week. Looked like she figured things out yesterday afternoon. Finished with 702 for her last 3 games, but Shannon now in 7th place. A couple players close behind. She's down on lanes 3 and 4. Off to a good start, working on a double here early in game 6. And Sanna Pasanen, who is right behind her, is on that pair as well. Has no strikes and an open so far through 4 frames. Here's Marcano looking for 3 in a row. She gets it, so she's 4 out of 5. Coming into this game in 4th place. 132 pins behind Lee Jane Sin, our leader. So things much tighter on the women's side. And Indonesia's Nurmalina has been flirting with taking over that top spot for a couple days now. Zavjalova held it on day 1. Sin grabbed it the final game of day 2 and has not given it up since. Kyle Troop leading Oscar Palermo by 138 pins. Another great shot by Marcano. The 10 won't go. String ends at 3. Yanapan unable to get anything going here in game 6. Just 1 strike and an open. The top 5 on the men's side with some separation. Yanapan in 5th at 65.03. Andres Gomez in 6th at 63.74. There's a little bit of room there. There's still a couple players just outside the number. Sam Rose of England is 44 pins back. Marcel Schwartz, 56. So looking more like 10 players fighting for those 8 spots. So 21-2, not yielding too many strikes. Tough pickup here for JoJo on lane 22. One, 2, 5, 9. All right, Shannon O'Keefe working on a good game down on lane 3. She can get to 236. Should be able to hold off Hassan and making any ground up on her. Again, on the women's side, only 14 pins separating Sin and Nurmalina, and those 14 pins have disappeared. Those two bowling together, or near each other, sorry. And that was my mistake. That was Daphne Tan I was looking at. Lee Jane Sin of Malaysia actually bowling very well, down on 31-2. She can max at 270, so she must have heard Nurmalina coming and wants to pull away here. Shannon O'Keefe will be in the 220s this game. And she'll pick up 20 pins on Sana. Nurmalina still can get to 258. So Yalova struggling this game. One of the two lanes giving her grief. Strike 7-2, strike 6-2, 8-1, strike 9. Kyle Troop on 270 pace this game. All right, final frames now here in our featured pairs. Belgium's Clement gonna wrap it up here. 203 with all 10. And now JoJo can get to 190. Again, the top 5 on the men's side with a little bit of room. All right, 190 for Dojo. Stephanie Martins can get to 183 and 227 possible for Marcano. Karen coming into this game 43 pins behind Zavyalova. And she will likely go around Diana this game into the top 3. Normalina will be in the 240s. And Diana having a tough go here in game 6. Down on 11 and 12. Diana, best she can do if she throws the last 4 would be in the 160s. So she's going to lose a ton of pins here. See if she can stop the bleeding. Get ready now for game 7. Things moving along quickly. Not even 11 a.m. here in Vegas. 2 more games here in our 4th day of coverage, the round of 24 at the 2018 QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup. Pretty soon we'll know our 8 players headed to round robin match play. I do appreciate all of you joining us here at Sam's Town. My name is Matt Canizaro alongside Aaron Smith. I want to give a shout out of appreciation to the folks here at Sam's Town, Tom and Chelsea and the whole crew, keeping things running smoothly for us, and of course the tournament staff for the opportunity to be here once again. This makes 3 consecutive for me, 4 overall. And glad to bring it to you live here on BowlTV. Also, if you haven't checked out the QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup Facebook page, Dom Gall and his team have been busy all week bringing you some behind-the-scenes action, videos, photos, information, stories, and more. Remember to check that out. Give them a like. And, of course, find us on social media for USBC. The Sport of Bowling USBC on Facebook and at USBC on Twitter. Some highlights there as well. Aaron Smith in town to help cover the PWBA angle. We have 8 PWBA players among the top 24 here. And we'll have a few advancing to the top 8. So some additional coverage there. Keep an eye out for that. All right, now we'll meet our players for 19 and 20, our ladies pair. Ghislaine Vandertol, the Netherlands, and Lorna Scott from England. Both players well outside the top 8, so this might be your last opportunity to see them for 2018. Both of them veterans here at the World Cup, so no doubt we'll probably see them again in the future. All players this week bowled 24 games of qualifying over 3 days. Then we made a cut to the top 24. Started with 81 men and 68 women. If y'all have any questions for us, it's probably a good time to ask those. We're about 30 minutes away from being done for the day. Get you the recap tonight on bowl.com, and then back at it tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. local time, noon Eastern, for match play. In the meantime, tell us who your favorite player is among the top 24. Who's your pick? Will it be a familiar name? Or will a lesser-known player hoist the World Cup tomorrow afternoon? All right, joining us on the men's pair from Japan, Yuma Haraguchi and Merwin Tan on the men's side. From the Philippines. Sorry, guys. So game 7 getting going here. Vandertol with the front 4. And we're still waiting on a few scores to roll in to see what our situation is. Heading down the stretch here. 5 for 5 for the left-hander. All right, so here's Vandertol. She's gonna reset. Working on the front 5. This is our 7th game of 8. At the conclusion of today's action, we'll meet our top 8. They'll be headed to round robin match play tomorrow. We're still waiting on the latest standings to completely update. We'll take a look. Vandertil one more, looking for a late push. Looks like we're gonna need a spare reset here. Looks like full standings on the women's side. Lee Jane Sin of Malaysia. Small advantage over Indonesia's Nurmalina. Jerry Marcano up to third place. So Sin is at 63.74. Nurmalina at 63.57. 17 pin difference there. Marcano is at 62.20. 137 back. Nadine Geisler of Germany is fourth, 62.12. Zavyalova down to fifth at 62.04. O'Keefe moves up to sixth at 61.88. Maria Rodriguez, 61.82. Daphne Tan of Singapore, 61.18. Just under the cut line. Sanna Pasanen of Finland, 60.88. She's 30 out. Heidi Torstensen of Norway is 82 back. Tanya Youssef, 102. Han Chan of Hong Kong, 111. Quintanilla, El Salvador, 137 back. Vandertol, 185 behind the cut number. She's got the front six here on our featured pair. Lorna Scott right behind her, 190 out. Seven for seven for Vandertol. Some late excitement. Let's take a look at the men's standings now. Still missing in one score. And it's in. Kyle Troop. Plus 1095. Plus 1095. Some more separation there. Oscar Palermo in second at plus 887. So 200 pin window. Ryan Reed of Canada is third, plus 732. Sam Cooley of Australia up to fourth, plus 726. Jojo Yanapan is fifth at plus 693. Andres Gomez plus 601. Ryan Lalasang plus 566. And Iceland's Arner Jansson, the final guy in right now, plus 472. However, Marcelo Schwartz, 2 pins back Sam Rose of England, 42 back. And then a pair of players, Tan being one for the Philippines here on our featured pair, and Daman both 133 behind. So 12 players with some possibilities. However, Tan unable to get anything going here in game 7. Vandertol's run comes to an end with the 3-pin there on lane 19. Take a quick scroll through our live scoring and see anything big's happening. So Yalva getting something going here. Spare 5-bagger. Shannon O'Keefe plugging along, has 1 double this game. Haraguchi getting some air. And buries that one for the 3-bagger. He's down in 16th place. One more game to go, and then we'll call it a day here at the Samstown Bowling Center. That's a great shot by Vandertol. Last minute push. We'll say goodbye to 32 of these 48 players after our next game. It'll be an intimate affair tomorrow. 8 men and 8 women remaining for round robin match play. Final frame here for Lorna Scott. She can get to 189. The youngster from England. Back-to-back World Cup appearances. No doubt we'll see her again. Vandertoe looking to get in the 270s. Can't get the 10 to go, so 268 will be her max. She's 185 back. Tenth frame underway on 21 and 22. That's where we'll have one of our semifinals tomorrow. We'll use both pairs for the semis. Finals will take place on 19 and 20. And Tan unable to get the 10 out. He can get to 203 this game. Came into game 7 in 11th place, 133 behind the number. And the missed single pin. Finishes with 192, 1 game to go. That is likely more than enough to end his run at the top 8 here. 268 for Vandertoe, 187 for Lorna Scott. Haraguchi, final shot for 181. Tan finishes with 192. And that is going to do it for game 7. We'll have some numbers. Final game coming up here at the 2018 QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup. Our last look at 32 of our 48 players. We'll have game 8 in just moments. My name is Matt Canizaro alongside Aaron Smith. We'll be right back from Samstown Bowling Center in Las Vegas.
Over under 200. It's about my 8th game average.
All right, final players, and it's basically a position round right now. Aaron Smith, we've got our top players on both sides right now. And Kyle Troop with a sizable lead over Oscu. We'll get that official number here in a minute. But we could see, or we are seeing, what is the battle for the lead on the women's side now. Our longtime leader, Lee Jane Sin of Malaysia, and Nadia Nurmalina of Indonesia, separated by only a few pins throughout the day today. So what a way to end the day. It feels like the energy, the adrenaline just shot up here with our top contenders for the week. Got Oscar Palermo of Finland, 2006 World Cup champ. And Kyle Troop, first time Team USA member, making his international debut. Wearing the red, white, and blue. Troop's been leading wire to wire. Oscu nearly chased him down a couple times. Kyle said he thinks his Game 8 average is about 200. Jokingly so, but again with total pinfall carrying over. Let's see, Game 8, first day, 249. Game 8, second day, 194. And Game 8, Thursday, 207. Will we see Lee Jane Sin remain on top on the women's side? That would be 3 consecutive days. In last year's final at the World Cup, it was Philippines' Crisalyn Tabora taking down Malaysia's CT Rahman in the title match. So Malaysia looking for a little bit of redemption here. CT Rahman, the first Malaysian player to win a PWBA title. And Sin followed that up a week later. That was back in 2017. So they come to play when they're able to make it. They have a lot of commitments competition-wise, but have made a huge impact. Here in our final game, trouble for Nadia. Back-to-back open frames to start. Sin starts with a double. And both Oscu and Kyle with splits in the third frame. Kyle yet to strike on our featured pair this game. This is game 24, or game 32 now for the top 24. They bowled 24 games over 3 days. That was 8 games each day. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And now today, 8 more games, 32 game pinfall. Will determine the 8 players in each category who advance to match play. Kyle Troop has been the man since day one, including one of 3 perfect games this week. Pretty awesome that we get to end the day with our top 2 women and top 2 men. Of course, we'll do the same tomorrow. We'll have our semifinals and finals right here on these 2 pairs. Totals on the men's side, Kyle Troop leading by 150 over Osku. Kyle Troop 72.86, Osku 71.34. Kyle 300 pins ahead of third place Ryan Reed, 69.86 of Canada. Sam Cooley is fourth, 69.41. Jojo Yanapan is fifth, 68.76. Andres Gomez of Colombia looking for redemption as well, as it was Colombia the runner-up at last year's event. Andres sixth at 68.38. Ryan Lalasang of Indonesia, 67.79. And Marcelo Swartz back in 8th place, 66.88. However, Bernard Janssen 1 pin back. And Sam Rose of England, 38 pins back. So 10 players bowling for 8 spots right now. Merwin 157 back. Not going to get there in 2018. And for the ladies, not as dramatic at the cut line, but we do have a new leader. Mira Molina coming into this game back on top, leading by 47 pins, 65.60. Lee Jane Sin at 65.13. Karen Marcano is third, 64.41. Zavialova, 64.38. Nadine Geisler of Germany, 64.32. Maria Jose Rodriguez, 6th, 63.96. Shannon O'Keefe, 63.90. Daphne Tan, 63.28. In 9th place, 69 pins out, Heidi Torstensen of Norway. And Sana Passanen, 81 out in 10th place. Again, Kyle Troop 300 pins ahead of third place right now. About 150 ahead of Osku. And Kyle getting some momentum here as we get to the second half of our final game. With the women's side, 47 pins. The difference between our new leader Nadia Nuramalina and Lee Jane Sin. However, trouble for Nadia here. Pair opens and 1 strike through 5 frames. So Sin able to make up 33 pins of the 47 pin deficit already. Again, after this game, we'll cut the field in each division from 24 down to the top 8 for round robin match play. Pinfall will carry over, so every pin very important. Bonus pins on the line tomorrow, 8 games. That's 240 bonus pins. That is a significant cushion. $30 pins for a win, 15 for a tie. Kyle Troop. Nice break there for the 5-bagger. It is home turf Troop here leading through 32 games. He's going to build on that lead here in the final game. He'll be the man to beat. The goal for tomorrow, just make the top 4. Pinfall goes away. Just make the top 4. 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3 in the knockout round. Oscu not having fun on this pair at all. Take a quick peek through the live scoring. See if anything crazy is happening here in the final game. Sana Pasanen will be in the 220s this game. She's pretty far back. So Vyalova struggling a little bit. So Shane O'Keefe might already be done with game number 8. She definitely is not. Down on 15 and 16 to our left. Working on a double late here. Can get to 239. She's going to need every bit of that. She is in, but dangerously close. Kyle Troop adds 1 more. Confidence booster here heading into tomorrow. He's got the pick in the back pocket. Definitely a showman. He's got some swagger, but still a little bit early. He's going to be very reserved, has been all week. He knows there's work to do. And there's Oscu grabbing the pick and doing Troop things. Throwing pins and celebrating. Nuramalina continuing to struggle here. Such a good, quiet run she's made this week. comfortably in the top 8. A rough finish here. Sin makes a run at the washout. Again, 47 pins separating these two coming into this game. Oscar and Troop gonna close things out. Oscar will be in the 170s. Here's a 150 ahead of third place. Goes a little stank on that one. For the spare. Registers at 31.36 miles per hour on the QubicaAMF scoring system.
I believe Kyle was pointing at it from talking to Coach Rod Ross, saying that's double what my shot says right now.
Kyle takes his time on that 10 pin. Only 19.96. A very relaxed spare shot. Kyle will be in the 230s once again. Pick up another 60 pins on Osku. And the Nurmalina, Jane Sin, battle for the lead will come down to the final frame on the ladies' side. And Nadia was just one strike here in game number 8.
Man, looks like Marcelo Swartz is going to wrap up that final spot on the men's side. Janssen could only get to 184, so Swartz has already surpassed that. I think Sam Rose was a little bit too far back and wasn't putting up too big of a game. So a little less drama than what we potentially could have had.
So scores being updated as they roll in. Kyle Troop, very nice lead on the men's side. We're about to see our final frame here for the ladies. Who will it be on top of the standings heading into a round robin match play? If you want to see the scores, you can visit QubicaAMF.com. All the results available there on the World Cup homepage. Live scoring also, a link in your information box below your video window, but we're about done. Final pairs wrapping up here.
It's going to come down to the spare shots here. Hard to imagine after 32 games that it gets down to that, but
coming into this game, Nadia at plus 360. Jane at plus 313.
you okay there, Matt? Is this what game 32 does to you?
Something just flew by.
It makes you all emotional. It's a fly.
Samstown Fly wants to say hello on live stream.
So depending on count here, as Sinley Jane delivers the strike, Nadia's just going to need 6 pins here to edge out the final spot by a single pin. Craziness.
Still a little bit fun, and now we get to chat with Nadia
That is going to be more than 6. Struggled the final game, but does enough.
Plus 319 final score for Nadia, 314 for Sin, 237 for Marcano. We'll have the introduction of our top 8 here very shortly. We'll grab some pictures, talk to our leaders, and have a recap for you tonight. We'll have some highlights on social media and the recap on bowl.com later today. Getting very quiet here at this 56th lane Samstown Bowling Center. We do appreciate everybody joining us all day and all week long. A split conversion there for Canada's Ryan Reed to our left. You probably catch that over on lane 18.
Matt, I don't know if you mentioned it throughout the course of this, but Maria Jose Rodriguez had herself a day. Games at 231, 234, 226, 268, 202, 212, 214, and 254. It's a nice block.
Please now have the top 8 is the ladies and the men to stay back please for photo. Top 8 in the ladies and in the men's. The top 8 and everybody that's bowling tomorrow morning with the men's.
Holy feedback.
AM tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. So for the top 8 men, top 8 ladies, please register at 8:30 and do not forget to bring the shirts that you have today or tomorrow as well. So the shirts you have today.
Right, so final scores rolling in. There's Bernard Gibbons addressing the top 8. Aaron Smith addressing the camera.
Once again, the top 8 men.
Get some photos and comments here in just a minute. Again, if you're watching the ladies come down to their final frames, Nadia Nurmalina, your leader by 5 pins over 2-day leader Lee Jane Sin of Malaysia.
In 8th place, Singapore. 7th place, USA. 6th, Latvia. 5, Germany. 4, Venezuela. 3, Colombia. In 2nd place for the moment, Malaysia. And Indonesia is on top of the ladies right now. In the men's, in 8th place is Brazil. 7th place, Indonesia. In 6th place is Colombia. In 5th place is Thailand. 4th is Australia. In 3rd is Canada. In 2nd right now is Finland. And on top of the men's division is the United States. So if you have those 8, please, at the front desk for a photograph, please. Would again remind you that polling in the morning at 9 o'clock, registration at 8:30, and bring the shirts that you have with you today, tomorrow morning.
All right, folks, there you have it. The final rundown from Bernard Gibbons, our tournament director. We'll have the final numbers for you up on the official USBC Facebook page here very shortly. We'll have a photo of the top 8 as well. We do appreciate everybody being here. It's been a fun 32 games at the 2018 QubicaAMF Bowling World Cup. We've narrowed the field down now from 81 men to just 8, and from 68 women down to the top 8. Total pinfall carries over. Round robin match play tomorrow, 7 games and a position round, and then we'll cut again. So half the players remaining will make the semifinals. The top 4 advance to the knockout-style semifinals here in our featured pairs tomorrow afternoon. Again, we do appreciate you stopping in. Tell all your friends tomorrow. Share part of your weekend with us. 9 a.m. local time, noon Eastern, for the start of round-robin match play. Again, we'll have a recap for you shortly on our Facebook page, Sport of Bowling USBC, and the full details on bowl.com later today. Also check out pwba.com and the PWBA social media channels for some additional bonus coverage on the ladies' side. Folks, that is going to do it from Samstown Bowling Center for today. Day 4 of the World Cup has concluded. That is the news for now. We'll see you on the lanes.